Let me start with a question that might shake something deep inside you. Have you ever looked in the mirror and thought, is this it? Not in a bitter way, not because your life is terrible, but because deep down you know, you feel, that there's more inside you than what you're showing the world right now. There's a fire in your gut, but every day you walk around with a smile that hides the truth. You feel stuck. You feel average. You feel like you're living on the surface of your potential, while something greater is buried deep within, begging to break free. Maybe people told you to be realistic. Maybe they told you not to dream too big, not to stand out too much, not to want too much from life. And so, little by little, you lowered the volume on your calling. You shrank your dreams. You settled for what was in front of you. But now it's getting too loud to ignore. That whisper inside you is turning into a roar. You were not born to be average. You were born to be extraordinary. Average is easy. It doesn't take courage. It doesn't require sacrifice. It's the default setting. You don't even have to try to be average. You just have to follow the crowd, do what everyone else is doing, and life will keep you in that middle lane. Safe, predictable, comfortable, but comfort is a liar. Comfort convinces you that survival is good enough. It tells you that settling is wisdom. It sells you a story that most people don't get what they want anyway. But let me tell you something. You were not created for survival. You were created to thrive. You were born to do something with your life that leaves a mark, something that matters. Every single day you wake up, you have a decision to make, blend in or break through. And if you don't make that decision on purpose, life will make it for you. Life will give you average by default. You don't need talent to be average. You don't need discipline, vision, or strength to be average. Average doesn't require pain. Average doesn't demand resilience, but extraordinary, that's a whole different story. To be extraordinary, you've got to go where most people refuse to go. You've got to wake up earlier. Stay up later. Say no to things that feel good so you can say yes to what actually matters. You've got to train your mind to stop being led by your emotions and start being driven by your mission. See, being extraordinary isn't about being famous. It's not about money or status. It's about living with excellence, on purpose, with intention. It's about giving the world the best version of you, even when nobody's watching, even when it's hard, even when it hurts. You know what separates the extraordinary from the average? Not intelligence, not background, not luck. It's grit. It's the refusal to quit. It's the ability to get knocked down and rise up over and over again. It's falling 9 times and getting up 10. It's staying in the fight when everything in you wants to run. And it's choosing every day to be better than you were yesterday. Now let's talk truth. Being extraordinary is lonely sometimes. You're going to outgrow some friendships. You're going to outgrow some habits. You're going to outgrow old versions of yourself, and people won't understand. They'll say you changed. They'll say you're too intense, too ambitious, too different. You know what you say to that? Thank you. Because that's the goal, to change, to grow, to evolve. If they don't recognize you anymore, good. That means you're becoming the person you were always meant to be. You don't owe the world average. You owe the world your greatness. You owe it to yourself, to your family, to that younger version of you who used to believe anything was possible, until the world tried to convince them otherwise. And I get it. Some of you feel like it's too late, like you've wasted too much time, like you've made too many mistakes. Listen to me carefully. You are not too late, and you are not too broken. Extraordinary is not reserved for the perfect. It's reserved for the persistent, for the ones who get back up, for the ones who refuse to settle. So many people are waiting for permission to rise, waiting for someone to say, you're good enough, you can do this, you have what it takes. But you don't need that. You don't need a cheerleader. You need a decision to rise above average, to no longer let your past define your future, to no longer let fear decide your fate? Do you want to be exceptional? Then stop asking for permission. You've got to move like your life depends on it, because it does. You've got to wake up with purpose and go to bed with peace, knowing that today you gave it everything you had. You showed up, you pushed, you grew. That's the extraordinary life. You know what average looks like, clocking in, clocking out, living for the weekend, talking about dreams but never chasing them, drowning in excuses, blaming everyone else. That's what average looks like. But you were born to own the room, to speak with power, to walk in purpose, to lift others as you climb, to lead, to love with depth, to serve with passion. You were born to stand out. You were born to build, to create, to inspire. You don't have to have all the answers. You just need to take the next step. Extraordinary people don't wait until they feel ready. They start, then grow. They make mistakes, learn from them, and keep going. There will be days when you feel tired, days when you want to quit, days when the grind feels like it's too much. But hear me, that's where the magic happens. That's where average people turn around and extraordinary people level up. When it's hard, that's when it counts the most. And don't think for a second that your life doesn't matter, that your voice doesn't matter, that your story doesn't matter. It does. And someone out there needs to see you rise, because they've been told they can't. When you rise, you give others permission to do the same. This isn't just about motivation. It's about transformation. It's about deciding that your life will be different. Not someday, but today. Right now, you don't need a new year. You need a new mindset. You need to stop negotiating with your potential and start executing on your purpose. Forget average, forget safe, forget just enough. Choose courage, choose growth, choose excellence, choose extraordinary. You've got a calling on your life. You know it, you feel it, you've always known it. Even when you tried to ignore it, even when you buried it under self-doubt, fear, and failure, it's still there. It's waiting for you to stop playing small and start playing full out. Don't let the fear of failing stop you from flying. Don't let the opinions of others become the chains that hold your potential hostage. Don't wait until the pain of regret is louder than the pain of discipline. Do it now, while you still have time, while you still have breath in your lungs, while your heart still beats with purpose. You don't need another sign. This is your sign. This is your moment. This is your wake-up call. Average ends here. Ordinary ends now. It's time to rise above. Not tomorrow, not next week. Right now, rise above fear, rise above excuses, rise above comfort, rise above doubt, rise above that voice that keeps telling you you can't. You can, you will, and every day you're going to wake up and remind yourself, I was not made to be average. I was made to be extraordinary, so go live like it every single day. Let me leave you with this. One day you're going to look back at your life and you're going to ask yourself one question: did I rise or did I settle? And in that moment you won't remember the failures, the doubts, or the people who told you it couldn't be done. What you'll remember is whether you answered the call that was placed on your life. Whether you gave it everything you had, whether you stood tall in a world that begged you to shrink. You were not put on this earth to just survive, to go through the motions, to check boxes on a to-do list and call it a life. You were born to set something on fire, to blaze a trail so bright it lights the way for others. You were born to inspire, to shake things up, to rewrite the rules, but you can't do that living in the shadows of fear and comfort. Extraordinary isn't about being better than anyone else. It's about being better than you were yesterday. It's about waking up with fire in your soul and refusing to die with your dreams still inside you. Stop waiting, stop hesitating, stop wondering if you have what it takes. You do, you've always had it, the strength, the gift, the calling. Now is the time to rise, not when you feel ready, not when it's convenient. Now so get up, stand tall, speak boldly, live fully, be the person who didn't just dream, but did, be the one who didn't just survive, but soared, because you weren't made to be average, you were made to be extraordinary every single day.